So here is another short video to complement the What is Acting video. Hopefully going to be very short. It's about elevator phrases, and we're also going to take a look at a script that has beats and elevator phrases marked in it. So for your written work, you have to define an elevator phrase for each beat in your scene or for your monologue. So an elevator phrase is, so imagine that you are on an elevator and the other character is outside of the elevator and the doors are closing on you, and you only have like 1 second to say everything you want to say to that other character. Everything that beat is really trying to say. An elevator phrase is 99% of the time not going to be any of the words of the script, especially if you're doing Shakespeare or some other heightened language. These should be phrases that are very short, that mean a lot to you. They will be personal for each actor. Every actor could come up with a different elevator phrase for the exact same beat. If I say, for me, the elevator phrase I might have come up with is "Don't leave me." Someone else might come up with an elevator phrase of "Come back." Whatever. I mean, that was kind of a lame example, but so they're going to be short, very short. They should be 3, 4, 5 words max. Don't make them long. If you are, remember, you are saying this from the character's point of view, not from somebody analyze the character. What would the character say? You're not talking about what the character is saying. You are saying what the character would say if they only had 3 words to say it and 1 second. And so it could be a command. A command might be a really good way to approach this. You are, in each beat, you want something, and so you're ordering somebody to do what you want them to do. Don't leave me, for example. It could be an exclamation. I love you, is maybe, I love you is a great elevator phrase. It's a little overused, but if it works, it works. Now, it should be all subtext. You're not, people and characters, we say things all the time, and we don't always really say what we mean. We talk in language that needs to have lots of subtext, and that's how playwrights write plays. What you mean is far more important than what your character says. It is, as I said, it's probably not for in the text, so it will be something else. So let's look at some examples of, that's not what I wanted. Look at some examples of this. Here is a script of a play that I was in. I played the dad, imagine that. This is a play written by a student, a former student, for Winter Shorts one year. So this is going to cover quite a few things. I'm going to just do it real quick. I'll load up an example, this PDF, so that you can look at it. But we're just going to look at it really quickly here because there's no point in me just yabbering on when you can look at it yourself. So I decided my super objective was to reconnect with my son. So therefore, every action and every beat I play, this is just a short 10-minute play, every action is connected to that goal of reconnecting with my son. Let me scroll down a little bit. So for every beat, I've marked beats. I've got elevator phrases over here and actions over here, or verbs, what have you. My handwriting is illegible, sorry. So for the first beat here, I put my elevator phrase was, let's have fun. Because given the situation, I was trying to make this be a really good time. The gist of the story is I'm trying to reconnect with my son because I left his mother when he was very young, but we've had a strained relationship, and he ended up having to sort of bring me on this little trip he was making. So my verb here is to connect. Possibly, if you want to think of your action in terms of a longer term, a longer phrase is embrace the situation. I'm embracing the situation. so that I can reconnect with my son. Connect is my little verb there. So if I have small little helper verbs throughout here, but the main verb is connect. And if I was just going to say one thing to him, it would be, what's the point? Let's have fun. So let's look at this one longer than we would anyone else to make the example. So my line was, must be someplace, huh? Oh, what one hell of a drive out here, I tell you. Not that I'm complaining, though. You know where you got your sense of patience. And then he says line, and then I say, well, you know, you didn't get it from your mother. Don't say I never did nothing for you. So I'm joking around. The point of everything that I say in this beat is, let's have fun. So that's my elevator phrase for that first one. So just to look at it, a couple things here. So you mark beats with a little slash mark. So when there's a beat change, you mark it there. So when you're rehearsing with your script, you know, oh, there's something else. You write your beats in the script so that you know what action you're playing in that moment. And yeah, so another example of an elevator phrase and an action. So I'm good enough. I'm talking about the mother. I'm talking about the past situation. You can read these lines yourselves and figure what he's saying. He says, right. So I'm thinking she's going to be on the press and everything. So I'm telling this story about something that happened in the past. And the point is, I'm good enough. That's what I want you to think. So that's more of an exclamation as opposed to the command. That let's have fun will be sort of a command. This one is sort of an exclamation. My verb here is to indoctrinate because I'm trying to get him to buy into this family myth. Creating a personal mythology is sort of more of an action that I'm doing if you want to look at it in terms of an action phrase as opposed to a single verb. But the single verb here is just fine. I often think that is more helpful than coming up with a phrase. So this beat goes on a while because I'm telling a longer story. It's practically a monologue. And then we have another beat change. This one is a very short beat change. That's not all. Because he's sort of contradicting something. He's implying that he knows something that I did, and I know that he doesn't really know the whole story. So my elevator phrase is, that's not all. And my verb is to defend. I'm defending myself. It's another beat change. That was a very short beat change there. Very short beat there. And here's, wow, I just went forward a lot. Geez Louise, here we go. So this next beat here is my elevator phrase is, you matter to me. Because that's the gist of what I'm saying. Even though I'm saying, oh, well, remember how you came down last year and you said you thought you left your book and you were going Bergen. Well, I found it. He came to see me and he found a book, and I'm revealing, hey, I found this book that you left and I didn't give it back to you. I read it. And the point of that is, you matter to me. And my verb is to sort of charm him. You could maybe say surprise him or impress him were optional ones that I could play around with. You see how none of this is set in stone. Charm was the beginning place that I started working with, but before, I wrote all this out before we started rehearsal. And in my mind, I was thinking, I'm not sure is it really charm? Maybe it's surprise, maybe it's impressed. And then I came up with these other longer phrases. I'm revealing a secret because I'm telling him, hey, I kept your book and you didn't know it. So another beat change. Let's just go through just to look at examples, just so you can wrap your head around the way that you might phrase these things. Let's do this is a really good elevator phrase. Engage. See how they go together. Let's do this. I'm engaging him to really do something. Here we go. What's the next one? Restrict. I'm trying to restrict where he's going. I'm trying to control him a little bit. Prevent him from going too far is another way to think of a verb. If you want to phrase your actions in terms of these longer phrases, great. If you just want to do verbs, great. Be nice. It was the point that I was making to him. Let me help. Another really good elevator phrase there. I'm trying to support him. See how they go together. Let me help. I'm trying to support you. So you see how it goes. Let's just scroll down this really fast because I don't want to take up any more of your time. I can help you. A really good elevator phrase. Assert. A really good verb. prove I can solve my son's problem is what I'm doing in that beat. And that goes on for a while. I think I had another story there. This dad likes to talk a lot. Then are you sure is a really good elevator phrase. Doubt. What a great verb to go with an elevator phrase. Are you sure? Correct. Correct is an excellent verb. It's amazing how often that really shows up. You don't know the real story. That is probably the longest that any elevator phrase should be. You don't know the real story. You don't know would probably be a better elevator phrase, actually. Don't give up. Really good elevator phrase. Salvage. Prevent a bad outcome. Let's keep going. It's, oh goodness, I'll just do it again. Well, anyway, so you see, you can do it. Guide him to a solution. Process, what have you. Don't you want to see me? I failed. Do you want this? Really, all different options for elevator phrases. Process is a really good verb. That's two different beats there. That's another very short beat. Save is a really good verb. There. See, here's an example of, remember that I blank you, I save you. I'm not trying to save him. I'm trying to save the situation. So the I blank you doesn't always work. It's just a good place to start. This is definitely an art and not a science. Where are we? My goodness, why I hate it when it does that. So here we go. This sucks is a really good elevator phrase. Often, it sucks is an often elevator phrase. Reprimand is a good verb. If that's my elevator phrase. And there we go. So that is a little bit about verbs, elevator phrase. And so just an example to look at that. I did upload this whole thing into Moodle that you can look at. And it might help you make sense of it. Bye.